welcome back to another episode of It's a Man's World, and today's podcast is all about survival of the fittest and the truth that probably we don't know about or we don't expect when we're starting up or trying to just figure it out. But I was off the Cans of Monster and my lovely client Shauna arrived with a gift for me and put two lovely cans in. This is the first time using the mic. This is also the first time in a week since having a can. So thanks to Shauna, we're going to have a little sip and we're going in with our first episode. So this is the last episode of 2025. There is one more that will be released next week, but this is the final one. Wow. I probably will do an end of the year recap, but you know what? I was sitting here, I was super inspired this week. There's so many thoughts going through my head. There's so many ideas. And I said, you know what? Let's get the podcast back. Let's get the podcast going. I've got so much planned for next year. You have no idea. You are going to be like, oh my God, turn on your notifications. First of all, get yourself a nice bevy, whatever you're having. I know it's Christmas. If you want tea, if you want a coffee, if you want a can, whatever is your preference, pause me, come back, sit down with a pen and paper and take some notes, because this episode, especially if you are only new to maybe online coaching, new in a business, and this is more towards coaching, yes, but I do feel like if you're only new into entrepreneurship or even like setting up your own small business, this will relate to you. So I've got some great notes that I've done out here. Okay, let's dive right in. So what it actually means for women who are building new businesses. Maybe you're thinking about venturing out into this space in 2026, which is so exciting. I urge you to go after all your dreams, all your goals, the things that you want to tick off, even when they feel scary. Actually, in fact, when they feel scary. But I do think when you look online, and there's so many mentors as well at the minute, and people in business in general that are like, you can do this, can scale and make all this money in a certain amount of weeks and months working with me. And it's like, when someone can earn that much in the personal side and them as a person hasn't developed alongside the business, it's very hard for them to manage it. And I think it's all this fanciness of like, this is what it can be all about. And in my opinion, I don't want to turn anyone off either, by the way. This is an inspirational episode. This is an inspiring podcast. It's something that I always want you to open your mind. I want you to think bigger, go bigger, dream bigger. But I do like to keep it real as well. And I think even with the mentorship at the minute and some of my girls that I have now, like, building a new business isn't as fancy as what people think, okay? And it's not going to kick off from the ground, and it's not going to be the best thing. And you will have to have like something behind you before you start. That don't just say quit your job and make it work, because like you do have to be, I'm not saying realistic, but you do have to think about those things before. And I've taken some notes and I've wrote some things down that I really want to share. And the reason I write notes down like this is because I don't want to miss out on things that are like really important. So pen to paper, let's go. Okay, so the ones who choose themselves again and again. So let's get into it. So the myth of fast speed. So I think we live in this world, like I was saying, with speed, with getting it done quicker, with faster growth, fast money and fast results. But no one thinks about the long term. And speed has never guaranteed survival. It has never guaranteed long term growth, not in nature, not even in entrepreneurship. So it's really important that we actually bring it back to even Mother Nature and realize that it doesn't even last there. Speed, it burns out at some stage. Like an animal, like how fast they're going, they can't just keep running and running and running. It's like a car, you can't run and run and run without fuel. And the fastest animal doesn't always win. The smartest one does, the one who can pivot, the one that can hide, the one that can go under like little rocks where you can't be seen, and they can adjust in different conditions, in weather, in different environments. And I want you to think about yourself like that right now. Where in business right now, if you have only started up, has slowed you down, has made you doubt yourself, has scared you, has made you go into this spiral of like, oh my God, it's not working this month, everything's a big mess, because that's part of growth, and it's probably a sign that you need to work on the personal side of things. And I do so much work with the women in the PIXIE legacy, because I just know like they're not going to be able to if I want them to earn this money, not me, but they want to earn this money and I know what that requires and how to get there, their mind and them as an individual isn't there. Okay, so it is so important to like really get clear on someone's why. It's not just like a little thing that you're going to write here and there with a pen and paper and be like, yeah, one line. It's like, has to be deep. They have to feel it. They have to know why are they doing this every day, because if not, you'll see the ones that really, really want it and know their why deep, they will be the ones that will make a lot of money, and then the others will be ones that like they won't last because they get so disheartened by not those quick results. So I do think as well, the fast is optional in the express lane. You can pay for it, which is mentorship or people there that have been there steps ahead that are going to help you. But adaptability is mandatory in business, and that is something that I stand with. When it's hard, when you have to change direction, when you have to try out something new, when something goes tits up, like that happens in business. And if your business is like sailing, everything is fine. I have had the best year ever. It's like you're not trying hard enough. If you really, really, really want to be successful and make it, you have to make mistakes. You have to fail. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. It's a true fact. So the entrepreneurial mindset that nobody talks about. Everyone loves the idea of the glamorous lifestyle, getting on your flight, packing your suitcase up. I can travel and I do post a lot about that because I have got myself to that position. But waking up early, crushing your goals, having a set routine, a lot of people turn off from that because they're like, don't want to know about it. But real entrepreneurship is way more chaotic than that. It is more than what people think and what they expect. So it's waking up on a certain day and being like, holy shit, this is crumbling right now. How do I do it? It's losing money and being like, I better go and make it back up. It's sacrificing comfort for a future that no one else can see yet besides you. No one else can feel yet besides you. It's saying no to a lot of things, and people are like, no, you can do both. It's like, well, I don't really agree with that too much, because I do feel like you have to be in the cycle to break the cycle. And when I say in the cycle to break the cycle, I mean like you have to be doing those same usual things, like going to the things and meeting these people here and there. You have to break that cycle if you do want to be different, if you want to make the choices, sacrifices that are going to get you there. And I've done that over the last 10 years plus. And you might class me as a lone wolf. You might class me as like, are you lonely? No, like I live my life to my fullest. And when I don't, and when I'm off skewer, I will tell you right now, I will feel that from the depths of my soul. Like I will be so uncomfortable. I'll just be thinking, I'll be anxious. And it's not that it's anxiety. It's I truly love what I do. And when I'm in this flow, sitting here on a Thursday recording this podcast, I'm going to edit it after, having my calm, went to train earlier, inspiring people, chatting to people about starting up and like trying to get people out of their cycle that they're in. It's like, I can say all of this, but I cannot do it for you. You have to make the jump. You have to do it yourself. So I feel like with women in particular, I wrote down, we do this while unlearning self-doubt. We break generational narratives of what way we should live, what way the timeline is. Men providing like, yes, everyone has their role and serves their own role, but what's your role in your life and in your story? And I think we can create opportunities for ourselves that I have for sure. And I hope from maybe listening the last while, and if you've been on my journey the last while, like, you know, like it hasn't been easy, but have I ever given up? Have I still showed up? Do I ever get a return still on YouTube? Do I get a return on the podcast? No, but I love it. And that's why I do it, you know? And with the belief and that vision of like where I'm going, the mission is easy because the vision is so clear and I know what I have to do to get myself there. And it's believing in yourself even when things feel like it's going against you, even when you feel like, holy shit, like how am I going to make this work? It's not about the how am I going to get there, how am I going to do it, but how. It's like there is no how. The how is the journey, and that's actually the most exciting part. I love the journey. Like the journey has been the most thrilling part. When you get to that number, feels good for a second, but it was the journey that made it so exciting. It was the graft, it was like the passion, it was the coming through of the belief that like, oh my God, I've done this. So new startups, a new year, you can have the same reality. So many people in business, especially talking to the fitness industry, will be like, I just find it so hard to get clients, and it's the posting online, and I'm just really not that person. You're going to be left behind. I'm going to always say it. You have to do the things that you don't want to do. And it's like every part of your business, you're not going to love all of it. But as we enter 2026, and it's a season of new ideas, it's the year of the horse. The snake year was this year, where you're shedding off so much shit from this year, and hand on heart, I am like, wow, when I look back, I'm like, this the year of the snake. It all makes sense now. But when you're ready to go full steam ahead, when you're ready to put your foot down and get into that business and new project and those ideas and that dream that's planted in your heart, it didn't just arrive there for no reason. I'd love to do that. Yeah, I know, but I just feel like I never had that. No, you didn't put your time and energy into it. Absolutely. Give yourself pats on the back for that. But you also didn't believe in yourself enough that you have to be crazy that it's going to come true. Okay? It's exciting, but it can be overwhelming. And I do feel like the early stage of entrepreneurship is not glamorous. It's all fun and games when you have freedom, as in time, but time can also be a blessing, or it can be the opposite to it, okay? And the reason I say that is because I've noticed with a lot of my girls that they have so much time that they're nearly like, shit, I don't really know what way my day has gone. The structure isn't there. You don't have a 9 to 5. You've no one telling you, this is what you're doing, this is your structure, this is what your plan of action is, get these tasks done. It's like you have to create that yourself. And if you don't have discipline, that's why I'm saying the personal development side of things, you will not have a successful business. Everything on the outside is just a reflection of yourself on the inside. I know straight off the bat when people's lives are chaotic, I'm like, their business isn't doing well. You just know. But it is lonely. It's selective in the circle and the people that you have around you. Mentorships honestly changed my life. They were the best thing ever. Being supported and around women that are in the same position, hand on heart, the best thing ever. But there's so many moments of, what am I doing? Okay? And I've experienced it myself. I still do to this day. I'm like, I am losing the plot. Losing the plot. But every successful woman that has ever sat here, that's listening to the podcast, you're here for a reason right now. You are maybe in the fog. Maybe you're in the clearance and you're like, could I be doing more? If you're asking yourself, could you be doing more? The answer is yes. Okay, it's always yes. But in the months that feel uncertain, the months that feel heavy, the months that you're like, oh my God, what am I doing right now? Maybe I'm better off going back to this. That is not when you're failing, okay? That means that you are building. You're on the breakthrough of something huge. You have to be so ballsy and believe in yourself that it's like, I know this is hard for a reason right now. What am I learning from this? And let's go into why only a few people make it out. Why do people give up and they go back to a job? They're like, it's not a sustainable lifestyle. Said absolutely no one. Said no one. Okay? It's what people around you have been saying, but let's be honest, not everyone makes it out of the early stages of setting up any business. They give up before it's too early, 11. But it is an idea that has died off. It is a founder that couldn't grow with their business. It's the people that make it out. It's not that they're not superhuman. They're not bad. They don't have bad luck. They're not talented. It's not that they're any of those things. It's the difference of the 1% that keep going. The people that never give up. The people that are like, I am making it regardless of what happens. When shit hits the fan, I don't give up. I realize, what's this saying to me? They make decisions when they're scared. My girls that do really, really well, they take imperfect action. They don't perfectionize it and say perfectionism. They don't perfect it and say, oh, Ciara, it has to be this way. I can't do that until I'm ready. It's like, until you're ready, that could be any time. You could be dead by the time you do that. And that's just being honest. But they adapt faster. Any of my things that I've ever done, I go to webinars, I do seminars, I'm listening to something like this. I have a pen and paper out. I'm stopping off. I'm taking notes. I'm not just listening and going in one ear, out the other. There's a big difference from people that listen, take action, implement. Listen, take action, implement. And they do it before they're ready, okay? Do everything before you are ready. There is no perfect time. So stop waiting. I'm going to wait until I move into the house. And then when I get back, it's just a better time. Listen, I'm telling you right now, you need to give yourself a shake. There is no perfect time. All right. So a lot of people quit because as well, the journey isn't fancy at the start. It's like, oh, I thought it would have been better. I thought I would have earned a little bit more money. And I was expecting that. But those who rise, they embrace the uncertainty, like I said. They embrace the unfancy parts and they never give up. And that's the difference. But when you're meant to have it figured out, depending on your age, depending on where you're at, your permission slip is that like, and I want you to write this down, as no one really has it figured out. Not even me. Okay? Not fully. Is there an end destination? Is there an end journey? I don't know. But the people that you look up to and the people that inspire you daily, they are also navigating confusion. They are also guessing, testing, learning, figuring it all out. The difference is that they don't wait for clarity to take action. They just do it. And I don't think you should either. I don't think anyone that's listening to this, you didn't just arrive onto this podcast and say, I'm going to listen to it for no reason. You came because, and you're listening right now, or you're watching on YouTube because you know, like, it's time to move. I text 2 girls that I know for the course that I'm running with the mentorship in January for startup online coaches. And they were like, here, no. And I said, they were like, we need to take out the foot. And I was like, yeah, there's no going back. I have your name down. And they're like, yeah, put me down. And that's all it is. And it's a commitment to yourself. You can't just be like, well, like the money in January. Listen, no one cares about your money in January. The people that are going to be there by the end of Q1 with their business set up, making money and living a life purely out of passion and possibly earning money that they never thought was even possible, is the ones that take action and the ones that don't just sit, listen, let it go in one ear, out the other, and just live another day. Okay? That is the survival of the fittest. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you adjust. The more you learn, the more you adjust. The more you adjust, the more you grow. And take that in for a second. The more you adjust, the more you grow. Nothing changes if nothing changes. How do you expect to have a different outcome with the same actions that you're taking? With the same people that you listen to all the time, with the inner voice that never stops telling you, this isn't enough, this isn't enough. It won't work out. That's not a full-time successful job. Be careful doing that. If I was like that, I would never be where I am. I am so firm in what I'm doing and where I'm going that I know it's going to be scary, and I know every hurdle and every roadblock that comes up, it's just a test. It's just like testing me. It's building me for stronger, for strength, for a persistent and resilient journey where it's like I've learned so much about myself along the way, and I learned so much from other people in business around me. I'm always a student wanting to learn more. I'll never fully be like, I'm the smartest person in the room. And if I am, I find different rooms where I'm like, I feel uncomfortable here. But if you are building something new in January, if you are building something new right now, and if the newness and these months feel heavy that are going to come ahead, and a lot of people feel down in January, think about me. Like, I am sparked up, ready to go for Monday. And you might say, that's great for you, but what about the rest of us? But you know what? I put myself in those positions. I believed in myself. I pushed outside my comfort zone. I stayed locked in. I isolated for a long time. I was very selective in what I listened to, what I ate, my physique, my body, my mindset, my healing journey, your spiritual and energetic feeling and energy going through your body will also reflect what's going on in your business. And if you're unsure about how it will all work, but how, you need to remember this. And I wrote this down. So take out a pen and paper, or just like feel it as I read it. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're not too slow. You are adapting. You are evolving. You are becoming the woman who can hold the life, the business, and the impact that you're dreaming of, that you're feeling, that you can see it in the back of your mind. The survival of the fittest isn't about being the strongest. It's not. It's about having courage to keep going when things stop being pretty, when things aren't as luxurious, when it's not as exciting after the novelty kind of wears off. And you, listening to this right now, you're built for it. And even if you don't feel like you are, even if you have those doubts in the back of your mind, please let this be your testament that you can literally do anything that you want. And one thing that's always stuck to me is my dancing. From a young age all the way up, that structure, that consistency, that determination, the setbacks, not winning, coming last, falling over, but getting back up every single time and always keep on going. So if today's episode is something that lit something inside you and you feel like you could share it with another woman, think about the impact that you're making by even just sharing it out of love and out of gratitude, that like, this is what I'm building for myself. But you know what, success is shared. Success is even greater when it's shared with other people. And that's why I share my tips, I share my knowledge, I want to help other women, I show you my journey and where I've been. But I'm running a course in January, February, March, and it is a subscription-based course for coaches who are in a lower percentage of only starting out. They aren't really in a position to invest into the one-to-one work with myself in the higher ticket mentorship. And it's a 12-week course, and you will learn how to set up your business, your why, personal development, how to do DMs, scripts, sales, like where to even start, the content you're meant to be posting. I'll keep the rest a secret, but if you do want any more information, please DM me over on my personal Instagram, Ciara_Rossi, or else on the PIXIE Legacy Mentorship page, and I'm happy to help. And I've got this course made out because I just know how much you girls need it. I've had so many calls over this year with women that just weren't ready for that big step yet. And also I couldn't take them into the mentorship either because personally and mentally they weren't there yet. Okay, and that's being honest, and they would say it themselves. But being able to have this platform here with a whole new course underneath, and hopefully you can graduate and down the line within 3 to 6 months get to the mentorship, that's my goal. So please, as always, live boldly, live freely, and live entirely on your own terms, creating your own story. And I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next one.